Hello, people. Today, our video is all about having a bank account in Thailand. If you're going to be coming here regularly, or if you're going to be thinking of settling down here or retiring here, a bank account is going to be absolutely essential for various reasons, which I'll go into very shortly. But I just want to let you know there's several things that you find very strange coming from UK or other English-speaking countries in general. I think that the banks here are a different entity altogether. Number one, if you're coming as a tourist, it's not easy to get a bank account here. It's a lot of them don't want to give tourist bank accounts because they are afraid that they might get caught out somehow. There must have been something happened recently, because I noticed with my bank account, which is the top one on this list here, the Krung Thai Bank, just a few weeks ago, they closed down all the computer access to administrating your account on the bank. When I went into the bank and I said, well, why can't I do everything I've always done on my computer, pay bills, transfer money, etc. on my computer? They said because they've had a lot of problems with scams and things, and the bank have made the decision not to use computer technologies to allow access to bank. So now you have to install an app on your telephone. For some reason, that's much more secure. They have better security on that, they feel, and that is what I had to do. This is what the majority of Thai people do anyway. They all have their own accounts on their telephones, and they do everything like I think is becoming common in the world now. They're even going into a small shop and making a small purchase. Quite often you see them paying with their telephone and not with cash. So maybe this is a thing that's coming in the future. But anyway, be aware. I don't know if this applies to all the banks, but it certainly applies, I've heard, to some of the bigger banks. In Thailand, there's about 36 banks. And there's about 5 major banks that are popular here. Now, as usual, here in Thailand, you can get anything done by crossing the palm with a few shekels. There is people here, there are people that run the visa agencies, etc. They can get you bank accounts if you're just a tourist. It will cost you a bit of money for them to do it, but they will do it. And in general, it tends to be the Bangkok Bank that they can set it up relatively easy under the counter with the Bangkok Bank. But I know the one I'm with, the Krung Thai Bank, no, it's not so easy. It's difficult. So that's about setting the bank account up, and I'm about to go into more details about this. But as I say, a bank account is absolutely crucial. I maintain 2 bank accounts in the UK where I do various things with, etc. And I would never dream of closing them down because I'm a pensioner. And as far as the UK government pension is concerned, if I close all my bank accounts down in UK and I'm then registered as not living there, a non-dom, I'm living in Thailand, then my pension is frozen at the time that registration is done, and I will get no more increments to my pension. Some guys here that are retired 20 years ago, nearly 30 years ago, I know one guy, and his pension is absolutely minimalistic because he sold up everything in the UK and moved to Thailand, and has severely regretted it ever since. So there's the first big tip. Keep your residence status in the UK as long as you can. I pay tax in there. I pay tax on my pension. I have my own. I still have a house there. That's still my residential address. I still have a UK doctor. I still visit the hospital there again when I go back, albeit I have not been back since before COVID. So that's became a bit of a problem as well, because in medications I can no longer get from the UK, I have to buy them here, which is obviously a little bit of a bugbear, particularly when you can get them free in the UK, and here I'm paying a certain amount each month just to get my meds. Anyway, that's so be it. That's it. So let's go more into what you need, etc., for your bank account and how to apply and the restrictions you have, etc., and the problems you will come across. I think this is an important video if you're going to be coming and living here in Thailand, or you want to have, for a specific reason, a bank account here in Thailand. So keep watching. So there may be people out there that's thinking, well, do I really need a Thai bank account? And the answer to that is, if you're going to be retiring or staying here long term, without a shadow of a doubt, you are going to need a bank account. And you're going to need money in that account as well. And let me explain why. If you are coming here to retire, then there's a little bit of bad news. Well, maybe it's not so much bad news. It depends how financially well off you are. But to retire here, you need to have a Thai bank account with 800,000 baht in that account, and it's to be in there for at least 3 months before you apply for a visa, a retirement visa, or before you renew your visa. Now that equates to about 20,000 UK pounds, say about 24,000 US dollars, which is a substantial amount of money. But they do say that, sorry, I've just told you that all wrong. So if you're coming here and you're going to be retiring to Thailand, then you need an account and you need to have $800,000 in that account for at least 3 months before you apply for your visa, or at least 3 months before you renew your visa. Some people have told me that you also need to maintain it for 3 months after you've received your visa, but I've never known that, and I've never seen them check that. So I don't know. I'm just informing you of that. There is an alternative. You can, so they say, that you can actually make sure that you deposit 80,000 baht every month into your Thai bank account, and they will accept that as long as they can see it for 12 months, which means that you wouldn't get it in the first year, but if you were continuing to do that, then you might be able to go back to that way of keeping your bank account in the correct way after you've been here 12 months. But I'm not too sure 100%, and it seems like different areas have different aspects. And if you're watching this and you know different, please put it in the comments, keep me right and keep everybody else right. But that's my understanding of the retirement visa and what you have to do to get your retirement visa and to maintain your retirement visa. So let's go on and talk about the marriage visa. If you're indeed married to a Thai citizen, then it completely changes. And the requirement is that you maintain 400,000 baht in your Thai account. Now, you've got to note that this cannot be a joint account with your wife. This has to be an account in your name only. If you want to open a joint account, you would have to do that separately and transfer money between one and the other, etc., as needed. That's the way I used to do it. But now I just use my Thai bank account, and my wife has access via my debit card, etc. And she can also use my new phone app to transfer or pay money that way. So, but I might not recommend that to everybody, and it all depends on how much you know and you trust your wife. I have no problem with that, but I have heard of many people here in Thailand being caught out when they go in one day and they find a Thai bank account has been emptied out. So it's worth bearing that in mind also. Another point here is that on my last visa renewal, which was done in February, I actually brought this up with the lady who was doing the lady in immigration who was doing my visa renewal, and because I'd been told, and I've read actually, that we can do similar to the retirement visa, that we can pay in 40,000 baht a month, which I do anyway, at least, and that would suffice, and I wouldn't have to maintain the 400,000 in the account. But the lady in the immigration said, no, it's got to be 400,000. I don't accept anything else. Whether she accepts it or not, I don't know. And I would like some guidance if anybody can confirm that they in actual fact pay the 40,000 a month as opposed to the 400,000 a month, because to keep that sort of money tied up in your account, 800,000 for retirement and 400,000 for a visa, that's big money. That's 8,000 pounds for the marriage visa and close to 20,000 for the retirement visa. And that's a lot of money to be stagnating in your accounts here, particularly when you're not getting any interest at all on that amount of money in the Thai accounts. So it's not right, but that's the regulations at the moment. And anybody got comments on that, please let me know. Thank you. So despite the requirements to have a Thai bank account and to keep money in it for your visa requirements, what else would you want to make sure you have a Thai bank account for? Well, you're going to be living here, and if you're going to be keeping your money in the UK or in whatever country, and then withdrawing money from the ATMs on a foreign exchange card, you're going to pay a lot of money in commission for sure. It makes sense to have a Thai bank account and have a Thai bank card, a Thai debit card, where you can access money easily and quickly, and you can pay for things here in Thailand without extreme surcharges being added to your card. And that's what most people do. It's convenient that you can access your money, you can pay for things, and you're not paying over the top. Not only that, but if you're transferring money, pensions or whatever from another country, then you're going to want a bank account to transfer it into, of course. And that's another important reason that you need a bank account, and you should get one. As I've said before, there's a problem, especially with my bank, and I don't know about the other banks, but I suspect that this is not just the one bank that's doing this. Accessing your bank account via your computer is very, very difficult, and it seems like they're going down to telephone apps just now. Whether they'll come back to doing banking online via computer, I don't know. But obviously, they've had a lot of run on money and problems and scams. So it's going to be some time, and it's got to be much more secure for them to return to letting you access your account on your computer. Now, just let me talk a minute about what you will need to actually get a bank account here in Thailand. And that's not quite as easy as you may think either. So the documents you need to get a bank account here in Thailand is obviously you need your passport and you need some sort of non-immigrant visa normally. As I say, they don't like to issue bank accounts to people that are here on tourist visas. But I'm not saying it can't be done. It can be done. And you can visit several of the visa centers, the so-called under-the-counter agents here, that can organize virtually anything that you need in the way of visas, etc. Just costs money, that's all. So you can get it, but to get it officially and properly, you do need to have your passport with the correct visa. You've got to have proof of address here in Thailand. If you're working, you've got to have a work permit that you can demonstrate to them. And of course, you also need a deposit, an amount to deposit. Now, I hear that the sort of minimum now is 5,000 baht deposit, which is about £120 or something, maybe $130. That's the minimum deposit. But of course, if you're coming here to do a retirement visa or whatever, then you're going to have to arrange to, as quickly as possible, to get a substantial amount transferred into the account once you've got it. It doesn't happen instantly like it happens in other countries. You don't go in and come out with your bank book. You go in and you fill in all the forms and you provide all the evidence, etc., and then it gets sent off. And it can take 3 or 4 days to come back approved, and then they issue you with your bank book and your debit card, etc. Debit cards here are a little bit strange as well, because when you get a debit card, you can actually choose the debit card you want, because they're not free. There will be a charge for your debit card, and they can start from about 300 baht for a basic card, and they can go up to nearly 2,000 baht for a higher card that provides more benefits. And that's the thing, is that the debit cards do provide benefits. I go into the highest one with my bank because it provides things like 50,000 baht emergency medical cover, and several other benefits as well, insurance and other aspects. So when you take out your bank account, it's well worth investigating what the various cards they're offering actually offer you, and then make your decision. As I say, I think the medical one was the big one that sort of tempted me to go for the higher card, because at least if I go to a hospital, nobody's going to have to be running around the bank to try and get a deposit or etc. to get me seen to if I have a problem. And that was one of the thoughts that I had. But once again, that's fairly easy. An interesting aspect actually is when I first came here and I was working and I went to the bank, I was in the Thai military bank, that bottom one of the list here, the Thai military bank, and I wanted to purchase my first property here, and because I had a work visa and I'd been working here for a year, etc., I got a mortgage, no problem at all. It was done and dusted in 2 days. I saw a house that I wanted to buy. Fortunately, the woman that was selling it was also a bit of an entrepreneur, and she came with me to the bank and talked to the bank, etc. Now, the mortgage was all set up and done in 2 days, and I'd moved into the house after 2 days as well. So that can happen very quick, and it's possible if you've got a job here and you've got a work permit, actually, then you can get the normal benefits of a bank. The thing, of course, that I don't like is that no matter how much money you've got in your account, we don't get any interest paid. If I'm wrong about that and people have an experience of a way that you can get some interest paid, please let us know in the comments, and that might be of interest to other people as well, when they're choosing what bank to go with. So that's what you need to open a bank account. So I'm coming up to the end of this video very shortly, but I just want to reiterate one part that I've mentioned a couple of times here, and that is that they've got all these visa agencies and things around the town, several of them run by expats with their wives or girlfriends or whatever, and they are the enablers. They can do things that can get fixed under the counter. However, at this present moment of time, as far as immigration and visas are concerned, there's been a big crackdown. And they say that there's over 100 immigration staff facing charges about corruption, etc., for doing things under the counter. How this is going to pan out, I don't know. But there will always be this aspect in Thailand that people can get things done by paying for them. I heard the story 2 weeks ago of a guy that had gone to his normal supplier of getting him the retirement visa to find out that the guy had passed away, unfortunately, and he didn't know how to get his retirement visa. And what he done was he went to the immigration, which was another mistake. I don't know if it was a mistake, maybe not a mistake, but he went to immigration and he explained the situation that his agent was gone. Okay, they asked then, okay, let me see your bank book, etc. And when he showed them his bank book, which was a Capricorn bank, I think, they said, well, no, we want to see your Bangkok Bank bank book, the one that you've been applying every year with. He says, I don't have a Bangkok bank account. They said, you have? You've showed us it for the last 6 years with your funds in. He said, no, I've never had a Bangkok bank account. This was all part of the corruption that was getting done to get him his visa as required. So it landed him in a lot of trouble. He's had to leave Thailand. He's had to go back to his country of origin, which is America, I believe. And he's got to start the process again. He's going to have to get a non-immigrant visa, and he's going to have to come here. But this time they're going to check, and he's going to have that 800,000 baht in his account to be sure he's safe. And maybe he doesn't have that sort of money. It's always the people that don't have the money that they can extort extra money from to get things done. So that's the video, and I hope it's been useful. As I say, any comments, suggestions, questions, please put them down below and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Many thanks. Take care.